G'day guys, my name is Wildkard, welcome back to my channel. As always, thank you for the privilege of allowing me to entertain you. This is All Blacks versus Ireland Game 2 Dunedin 2022 preview. The All Blacks and Ireland played the first game last week. There's been a lot of interesting stuff came out of that game. There's a bit of changes for the All Blacks on the bench, but overall, both teams are pretty settled for a similar lineup as they did last week. A couple of injury changes for both teams, but that is it. So talking about injuries, first up, the All Blacks, the biggest name that missing out this game is Sammy Whitelock. He wasn't taken off the field or anything during the game, but after the match, he said, "Hey, I'm feeling a bit woozy, guys." And then the doctors had looked at him, determined that he had a concussion, and as a result, he will be out for 12 days. This is the most recent update to the HRA protocols. 12 days if you have a concussion, you're gone. On the other hand, for the Irish side, Johnny Sexton, he did get taken off the field for HRA. He did pass the HRA, but he did not return onto the field. But the fact that he passed HRA, he's okay to go. He does not have to take in the 12 days off. Sexton has always had a history of concussions, so yeah, it's good to see that he is okay. As a result, a few changes for the All Blacks in the forward pack. We shall talk about that in a minute. And the All Blacks also had some COVID issues last week. The players are good to go, but Fozzie is basically saying on his pre-match interview, basically talked about not just trying to ease the players into the setup. He's pretty happy with the performance from the week before. Therefore, he's going to reward the players with another opportunity this week. So the only player that is in the squad is Will Jordan. He's on the bench. David Havili, the All Blacks, Fozzie also talked about him having a bit of neck issues following the Crusader season. So he's just going to give him some more time to heal up as well. And yeah, Quinton Tupac also doing really good. So he's not really in a rush to replace him. So that's the kind of stuff that you wanted to talk about. This is Dunedin, so there's not much to worry about in terms of weather. It's going to be under the roof. It's going to be dry. It's going to be, it's going to be good and steamy and, as good as he gets for the All Blacks, for both teams, I guess. I mean, in terms of conditions, will be perfect under the roof. So not much to talk about that. So let's have a look at the lineup. The Irish has opted for basically an unchanged four-pack from last week. Now, the four-pack, so both teams had a lot of physicality last week. There were some really interesting stats that came out of the game from both four packs' performance. So the Irish team basically dominated the breakdown in terms of speed and physicality for about first 15 minutes. And then the All Blacks just clicked into gear and completely took, basically taken over the game for the remainder of the match with breakdown speed and dominance. And that basically, saw the scoreboard just completely swung one direction for the All Blacks. So up front, the Irish really fell apart in the game. So they really started well and they just really fell apart after the pressure started to pile on from the All Blacks side. There was a lot of unforced errors and the discipline was not very good for the Irish side. So yeah, they really need to have to look into that. Also, the scrummaging was a really important part of the game last week, and Ty Furlong really struggled under the All Blacks scrummaging. This All Blacks scrum, for the first time in a long time now, it really looked dominant, really looked clinical, and some people might say that the ground was a little bit slippery, was a little bit soft, but it did look like the All Blacks had an ascendancy in the scrummaging as well. The line-out set piece as well, both teams had pretty good line-outs, but the set piece in terms of more, the All Blacks did look a little bit better in that regards as well. So overall, there has been one change as a result of Sammy Whitelock. So this could be a big, it doesn't look like much, but this could be a big deal to the game because Sammy Whitelock is that third or second line-out jumping option alongside Scott Barrett being in the third. With him being out of the team, Dalton Papali'i, with his time at the Blues, he's had very limited lineouts for the Blues. I mean, the Blues lineout hasn't been that great all season, so they tend to be pretty basic stuff in terms of what they do in their lineouts. They have that Eklund really has trouble throwing the ball straight and all that sort of jazz. So the Blues has pretty poor lineouts. I can't really say that Dalton Papali'i is a big lineout option for the All Blacks. So All Blacks is technically going down to just two solid lineout options in the form of Brodie Retallick and Scott Barrett. Whilst they are extremely good, they are missing that third option now without Sammy Whitelock. So yeah, how that's going to play out in the game, we'll have to wait and see. Another talking point last week was Scott Barrett. He was trialed as the number 6 position. I guess not the first time he played number 6. He plays number 6 many times. He plays number 6 for the Crusaders. But his performance for the English team against the English in the 2019 World Cup at the 6th jersey was the breakdown speed wasn't there. So last week, the game started off almost like an identical sort of situation. There was a lack of presence at the breakdown. And yes, and it was almost looking like it's going to be a repeat of the 2019 World Cup in terms of the breakdown being completely dominated by the opposition. But Scott Barrett kind of recognized that situation, really stepped up. Big shift for him on the weekend. Apparently he made like 20-something tackles that game, and on top of all the all the lineouts that he had to commit to, really big shift work. And that's something that I kind of really like Scott for a player as well. He has that mentality where things gets tough, he goes to that dark place. He is cited by the Twitter police for a no arms clean out, but he's okay to go. Okay, the All Blacks gets away with a lot of things. That's another conversation which I'll talk about another time. But yeah, so Scott Barrett has exceptionally well. I do actually prefer him at a 5. I think he's much better at lock than a flanker position because he is just really good at controlling the space around the breakdowns. And yeah, I really like him at number 5. Dalton Papali'i at number 6 also brings a lot more speed for the All Blacks at the breakdown. So I wouldn't be too worried about the breakdown speed. It's just that extra lining option might come to play for the All Blacks side. The Irish side has been the same for the whole week, for the whole 4-pack. There was some talks about the front rowers like giving away a bit too many penalties for the Irish team, which I think is something that they probably should tidy up a little bit against the All Blacks. But overall, it did look like the physicality, once the All Blacks started to front up, the Irish 4-pack really kind of just, wasn't able to hold on to that physical intensity that they had in the first 15 minutes of the game. So that's pretty much the 4-pack we're going to talk about. Sam Cane, last week as well, he had a pretty tough game. Much better than his performances for the Chiefs. So yeah, big step for Sam Cane. So I was pretty happy about that. What else to talk about? So the back line. There's one change for the Irish side. Mac Henson comes in for, what's his name? In my mind, I thought it was Peter Stringer, but it's not. For the other bloke. But anyway, Mac Henson comes in. He's cleared of COVID. He had COVID issues last week. He comes in number 14. He's electrifyingly good on the wing. He is one of those players who has a pretty good kicking game as well. Something that the Irish side maybe lacked a little bit once Johnny Sexton came off the field early in the first half. So Johnny Sexton got a knock on the head like 15 minutes in, taken off the field. To me, there has been a lot of talks about Joey Carberry replacing Johnny Sexton. The Joey Carberry, experiment failed or whatnot. The main issue, it's not really because Joey Carberry is bad or anything. It's the lack of leadership for the Irish side once Johnny Sexton is off the field. There's a lack of direction, the lack of, a lack of clear mind once Johnny Sexton came off the field. When the pressure piled on by the All Blacks, the Irish team ended up just falling apart because they really tried to push themselves, throwing a lot of passes, taking quick taps when they shouldn't be taken, and just really try to push the game out of their own comfort zone, and ended up just giving away a lot of unforced errors to the All Blacks. That's the issue. And to be really frank, Joey Carberry ticks the box for all the, what you want from a number 10. Good kicking, good goal kicking, solid, good accuracy in his passes. But he really lacked a little bit of flair, in my opinion. And to be really frank, I think I think if I was going to talk about the number 10 position for the Irish team, I was extremely impressed by Billy Burns' performance against the Stormers in South Africa in the semi-finals. So I'm really surprised that he's not even in the squad. I don't think he's in the squad. Last time, I'm pretty sure he's not in the squad. But if I was to really going forward for Irish side, I would probably try Billy Burns, give Billy Burns another go. He's controlled the game against the Stormers was exceptionally good. His kicking game was really good. His ability to read the game was really, really good, and finding the space behind the defensive line, little chip kick over, chasing it down, creating space, creating opportunities for players around him. His accuracy was really good around the park. Passing game was really good, and it's just that flair, that little bit of X factor that Billy Burns has. I think that Joey Carberry just don't really have it. So I really want to see Ireland give that Billy Burns a go, but yeah, that's probably another conversation for another time. So anyway, so that's Johnny Sexton at 10. Hopefully he plays the full game, if not most of the game. It really just looked like a headless chicken once he came off the field due to the HIA. So for the All Black side, unchanged. Aaron Smith at 9, Beauden Barrett at 10. Leicester Fainga Nuku showed some really good start. Promised last week. Good physicality. Not much error. Exactly what you want for the number 11 position. Hard, big running game. I think he almost got a try. But yeah, really, really good. And for number 12 position for the All Blacks, Quinn Tupaia steps into the 12 jersey. And he had an exceptionally good game last week. His ability to, he's always been known as being like a very creative individual player. But last week, he really showed his ability to read the play around him was just, man, he was so impressive last week. He was able to read Beauden Barrett's kicking game. He was able to link up with his players. Really good hands in the back line. Put himself in the position to set up the players around him for space, for gaps. Really, he blew my expectations out of the park for that performance last week, Quinn Tupaia. So really good to see him miss number 12 jersey again. I think the Fozzie made the right decision here, not bringing Havili and just be like, hey, Quinn, yeah, thanks for the good performance last week, but let the big boys come in now. I really, really like that Fozzie didn't do that for Quinn Tupaia, because I do think that this guy has a tremendous amount of talent that he can really takes that next level for the All Blacks, given enough time. And also the physicality from him at number 12 was exceptional in defense as well. So yeah, really like Quinn Tupaia at number 12 position. Number 13, Riku Ioane, as always, as has been for a while now, really solid as a center. Sever Reese for the All Blacks, number 14. Geordie Barrett, solid as always at 15. The kicking game wasn't too much for both teams, so really not much kicking do happen that last week, as opposed to some other games that you typically watch international test matches. Both teams were happy to run the ball. So yeah, Geordie Barrett had the really good session as well. So it was really interesting last week as well, with the reserves coming off the bench for the All Blacks. The All Blacks had Brendan Ennor, Richie Mo'unga, and Finlay Christie coming off the bench last week. And it was really, you have to watch really closely to understand how this went. They took off both Riku Ioane and Quinn Tupaia, and they put on Richie Mo'unga at fullback. So Beauden Barrett stayed at 10 last week, and they had Brendan Ennor coming in at outside center, and Geordie Barrett finally gets his dream to play at inside center position for the All Blacks. Maybe he was outside center and Brendan Ennor inside, but Geordie Barrett was at center position for about 25-30 minutes in the second half. So yeah, really interesting stuff. Really interesting decision making by Fozzie. I'm not 100% sure if that was the original plan, but yeah, that's what happened last week. But this week, that's not going to be the case, because the All Blacks has a completely different lineup in the back three. So yeah, let's talk about the substitutes for the backline first for the All Blacks. Folau Fakatava, the most exciting prospect that the All Black has acquired in recent times. This guy is going to be the best halfback in the world in a few years' time. He is so exceptionally good, so talented. He is going to be better than Anton Dupont, no doubt about it. He is amazing. The biggest, most exciting acquisition for the All Blacks. I hope he gets 30 minutes minimum on the weekend, because he is tremendous for the Highlanders throughout the season. The Highlanders season has been completely forgettable. And again and again and again, week in, week out, Folau Fakatava coming off the bench just completely lights the Highlanders team on fire, setting up tries, just making beautiful plays left and right. Absolutely one of the most talented players in New Zealand right now. And so he's going to be coming to the bench for Aaron Smith in second half. And Richie Mwanga, this will be an interesting decision this week because they have Will Jordan at the number 23 jersey. So Will Jordan could potentially go to fullback because he does play fullback for Crusaders, but he typically plays wing as well for the All Blacks. So it'll be interesting to see where he goes because Richie Mwanga was at fullback last week. So this week, maybe they'll put Will Jordan at fullback and move Jordie Barrett to center again. And Richie Mwanga might come onto the field for Beauden Barrett this week. So yeah, this is really like gets everyone guessing what's going to happen. So is Richie Mwanga going to go to wing, fullback again and have Will Jordan on the wing and maybe take off like, Rieko Ioane, or maybe not Rieko Ioane, take off like, Lester Faenga. But we're not sure like how this is going to go. So, and also is Richie Mwanga could potentially go to 10 and have Will Jordan go to wing and have Jordie Barrett stay at fullback. So really not sure how this backline is going to shuffle. So we'll have to wait and see. So really interesting stuff how Forge is going to set this one up in the second half. But yeah, that's basically we'll have to wait and see how the dice rolls for the All Blacks. Quite interesting. The Irish backline, we're going to talk about that in a minute. And for the 4-pack, Peter Gasol-Akula came out the bench last week and immediately scores a try, just like he does again and again and again for the Chiefs. He picks the ball in the back of the scrum, just pure sheer physicality, a muscle, rams himself in for a try. Amazing stuff. Perfect debut. 1 try for your first game for the All Blacks. Couldn't get better than that, I guess. So Peter Gasol-Akula gets another shot at the bench. So we mentioned Patrick Tuipulotu gets number 19 jersey after Dalton Papali'i gets move up to the starting position. So that's the other change at the back. And also Aiden Ross comes in for Karl Tuinukuafe on the number 17 jersey for the All Blacks. The Irish side, only 1 change in the back line. Rob Herring comes in at number 16 for the hooker position. Who was it he replaced? I can't even remember. Sheehan? Is it Sheehan? No, Sheehan's starting, isn't he? Yeah, anyway. But yeah, Rob Herring gets caught in, the veteran, at the hooker position. King Healy, I don't think he played last week. He had a bit of ankle issues. Gets on the bench again alongside Finlay Bellin. And the remainder of the backline has been unchanged for the Irish side. And Bundy Aki came on the bench with a lot of physicality, which is something that I felt like they should have brought him on probably a bit earlier in the match. But he's on the number 23 jersey again. We shall see how the dice roll. Joey Cabre, number 22. Conor Murray, 21. Yeah, that's basically the lineup for the game. Let me know your thoughts, guys. My thoughts is that this game, I think the Irish team is going to score a couple more tries than they did last week. So there's going to be a couple more tries. Johnny Sexton's probably going to miss a couple of penalties. So and there will be a couple of penalties kicked, maybe Joey Cabre in the second half. So my prediction for this score for the Irish team is 20 points. And the All Blacks will be 32. 32 All Blacks over Ireland, 20 points. So that's my prediction. Let me know your thoughts. Yeah, I do feel like the All Blacks really had, after last week's performance, really had the Irish quite beaten in every aspect of the game. The Johnny Sexton, in terms of kicking game, actually, I kind of didn't really talk about this. Johnny Sexton's kicking game while he was on the field was really showed a lot of flair as well. I did quite a few of those like chip over the top and really yielded, almost scored a second try from that. Really created a lot of space, a lot of like opportunity for the Irish side. Yeah, really wanted to see him play the full game, and Joey Cabre really just didn't have that when he came off the bench. And yeah, Mr. Farrell, if you're watching this video, come on, man, bring back Billy Burns for the memes. Thank you for watching, guys. Do appreciate being here. Like, comment, and subscribe. I'll see you guys a bit later for the reviews. Cheers.